Hi, I'm Trevor Nye. I've worked in the construction industry for about 45 years in various roles, starting off as a quantity surveyor and working through project management and into executive management. And it's really great to be here to be able to talk to you and tell you about our experience and what we can do to help you get started in the industry. The course is obviously very good in instructing the students as to what happens in construction. But I think when you get out on site yourself, it's why it happens and why you need to do things and do them a certain way. So it puts a very practical sort of side on the technical aspects of the work. So yeah, it's absolutely essential. I think also it's the start of a networking involvement and in terms of people and obviously getting exposure to skills, and when they actually come out into the industry, they'll take on a number of roles ranging from administration to engineering to safety to quality and so on. So it's a way of sort of starting the ball rolling with that. I know they go through all the training in their course, but there's nothing like the practical experience and meeting with people and dealing with those issues. So I think it's a very important thing, as you say, John, to start at the earliest possible time. If you're working in contracting, you know, I think there is a fairly set pattern that younger employees go through, and if you can mirror that in their work experience, they're probably going to get the most value out of it. In other words, you know, when we employ a cadet or a graduate, then they usually start off in administration, and there's some cost management, cost reporting, possibly you know, obtaining some prices. It might just be for the toilet roll holders or something for the job, but you know, they start off at a basic level. They then work through more into what you might call the engineering role, which is not structural design or things like that, but it's maybe a little bit of programming. It might be some sub-year programming. It might be doing some progress payments for subcontractors. And then, of course, you know, eventually in their career, they move into project management if that's what they want to do. So I think if you could get, as a student, if you could get some administration experience, a little bit of site experience, maybe, you know, get out on the safety walks with the safety officer and do a bit of safety auditing. Look, they may not have all the knowledge as to what's right and wrong with safety, but they're watching somebody, they're learning from it, experiencing it, and so on. So I think, you know, if you get a cross-section over the 16 weeks, which is a very minimal period, really, it's a very minimal period, you know, then I think, you know, you've got to try and do that. I think also it's good to experience you know, the different sides of the business to resolve conflict or to provide the best results for a client. If you've stood in the client's shoes for a while, or a consultant's shoes, then I think that's really good. I was lucky. I started off in a consulting QS role, worked for contracting for many years, and then tried my hand at consultant project management. And when you see what, you know, the consultants have to do sometimes, and sometimes what they have to put up with their clients, you understand the pressures that are there, you know, contractually and technically. So I think, you know, if you have the opportunity to sample both public and private and possibly consulting, it's a good thing. I think, you know, the squeaky wheel gets the oil, and if you're politely pestered, then eventually, you know, you'll do something to see the person, take on board their views. But what I look for is that the person has done their research. They know a bit about the company, they know about the projects, and just come in and say, kind of, give me a job, you know, I'm really good, so give me a job. I think it's really important that you do your homework as a student, and that you know what you want to do and what you're getting into, what that company may have to offer you. And if you can have an intelligent conversation, that always impresses me. So I think, you know, if preparation's done, that's really good. I can't really remember that far back, to be honest, how I did it, but I think I sort of just knocked on a lot of doors and was very persuasive and promised to work very hard.